So, you want to make money in crypto? Well, today's video is a must watch. I'm going to be sharing with you a vital part of how you can ensure that you make money in this bull run. My name's Milton, and you're watching CryptoWise. All right, CryptoWisers, I get asked this question over and over again. Milty, how do I become a crypto millionaire? Well, that's a pretty loaded question. But in today's video, I'm going to be showing you one essential aspect of how you do it. I don't know anyone in crypto who has made millions without doing this exact thing, except for the very few lucky people I know who got into Bitcoin in 2011, bought enough of it, and just were able to sit on Bitcoin this whole time. Those are the lucky ones. For the rest of us, even if you got into crypto in 2016, like I did, the only way to ensure that you will make sustainable profits in crypto is utilizing what I'm going to teach you in this video as part of your strategy. But before I do that, I want to highlight this video here that the Sui legend launched on CryptoWise yesterday. It's this one here, biggest coin of 2025. Hats off to the Sui legend for this one. It's an amazing video. He did such a great job on the editing of it, the look of it. It explains in detail one of the most important projects launching in crypto this year. Make sure you check that out. And of course, do me a favor, guys, and I mean this. I know a lot of you will ignore what I'm about to say, but please, if you're enjoying the CryptoWise content, smash the like button. It really helps the channel. It will let people find us that don't know about us already. It will let our old CryptoWise people who stopped watching us know that we're here making videos again. So please, please, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And of course, follow me over on X. My handle there is @CryptoWise, guys. All right, guys, let's jump right into today's crucial video. I'm talking about taking profits. Now, I'm not going to go through my whole strategy of taking profits in today's video. I'm just going to be talking about one of them, and that is taking some of my profits and putting them into stablecoin lending and stablecoin liquidity pools. At the end of today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite pools right now. Some amazing stablecoin pools that will get you great yields right now. You're not going to want to miss that, so make sure that you watch to the end of today's video. But if you're new to crypto, I want to make sure you realize how important this is. Okay, today, if we look at crypto bubbles, everything is red. We see a lot of our favorite altcoins are down 10 or more percent. So some of you might be thinking, what is going on? I thought we were in a bull run. Look, we are in a bull run, and even in bull runs, we're going to see some major dips. Today is actually nothing. I expect much bigger dips going along this bull run. The one thing that we've been able to predict in crypto is the 4-year cycles. We know that 2025 should be an up year. It should be the biggest leg up in this bull run. I anticipate that we'll see some major profit from Bitcoin and a lot of the altcoins. This is the year we've been waiting for 4 years now. But what is always impossible to predict is when things are going to go up and when they're going to go down. We're going to see lots of dips this year. We're going to see a few days that have giant, huge green candles. You're going to want to make sure that you're in the market for those big leg ups. But as you're making profit, make sure that you're laddering out a little bit of that profit and putting it into stable coins. That way you can either keep it in stables and use that as your foundation of wealth, or you can use those stables to buy the dip when the inevitable dips occur. So for me, for my big bags like Bitcoin, Solana, Sui, as I make profit and hit some of my price targets, I'm going to be laddering out, which means I just take a little bit of profit every time I hit a certain target and I put it in stable coins. And then I add that stable coin to DeFi platforms in one of two different ways, and I'm going to show you that in today's video. Now, if I have a smaller bag of an altcoin, but something I think could 5, 6, even 10x or more, then I might just have one price target because I have a small bag of it. I'm going to use Merchant Mo as an example today. This could be any altcoin really, but I've talked about Merchant Mo in the past, and I'll talk about it again today in a different context. But this is a very small cap altcoin that I really, really like. It's $55 million market cap right now. I have a feeling that Merchant Mo can do really well in this bull run, but I only have a small bag of Mo. So it's not really worth me laddering out, selling little bits here and there. Now, you could still do that if you want. But for me, what I do is I set a price target. It's a very ambitious price target, but if Mo hits that, I will be selling my full bag. So I have a few altcoins like that are smaller bags that I'm just really trying to hit a home run on. And if they do, I will sell the whole bag. But for the most part, my bigger bags, as I said, I'll be laddering out as I hit those profit targets. So for example, for Bitcoin, if Bitcoin goes to 150,000, I will most likely sell a little bit, add that to my stablecoin foundational, sustainable wealth bag. This is a very, very important point, guys. This doesn't mean you don't believe in crypto. No one believes in crypto more than I do. If you watch the channel, you know Milty is all in on crypto. There will never be a time in my life when I'm not in crypto. But my goal is not only to build my crypto bags, but to live a good life where I don't have to worry about the volatility all the time of the crypto market. And to do that, I'm going to need a certain amount of my wealth in stablecoins and utilizing DeFi to get me some good yield on my stables so I can either use that to buy more crypto or to live and just give me that peace of mind when we're in a down market and during the bear market that inevitably will come. All right. A few things to keep in mind when you're looking for stablecoin yield. Certain chains are going to be safer than other chains. As much as Ethereum has not really done much this cycle yet, a lot of people feel like it's underperforming. It hasn't hit its all-time high yet. Ethereum really is still the DeFi chain. We have 70 billion locked into it. It's the proven chain. You'll pay a little bit more for gas, but what you get in return is the security and the peace of mind of Ethereum. So if you want lower risk, I highly recommend using Ethereum still and the proven platforms on Ethereum. That would be Aave. Aave with 22 billion total value locked is really the safest play in crypto these days in terms of a DeFi app. Now, Aave has actually created their own stablecoin. It's a decentralized, multi-collateralized stablecoin called Go. Oh, that's something you might want to look at. Right now, you're getting pretty good yield on their Go stablecoin. But the stablecoin yields right now are actually pretty high. And what you'll notice in crypto is as we're in a bull run, you'll be able to get higher yields. And then once we're in the bear market again, those yields will go down. So keep that in mind. These yields change all the time. So right now, your safest bet, in my mind, in terms of stablecoins, is the USDC coin from Circle. Now, even Circle a couple of years ago, we had a bit of a scare where it depegged from the dollar. This is a risk for all stablecoins. So know that even though the risk is low on stablecoins and lower on some stablecoins than others, there is that risk that it could always depeg. You are trusting someone that they are backing that stablecoin with what they're saying they're backing it in, etc. Now, I think this year in the US, we're going to see a stablecoin law come to pass, which will give us more certainty and transparency with stablecoins. Circle has been leading the charge with that. They are a regulated digital currency that you can redeem for a US dollar. They're transparent about what they're backing their stablecoin with. To me, the least risky stablecoin out there. But because it is, you'll probably get a little bit less return on your money. So to me, the hands down least risky play in trying to get yields for your stablecoins right now is on Ethereum, just lending USDC coin to the Aave protocol. You would get just under 10% right now. And that, in terms of crypto, is pretty much as little risk as you can find. Now, if you want to go a little bit up the risk curve, you can go to Tether, which is USDT. It's actually still the biggest stablecoin in crypto, but there's a lot of FUD around. Do they really back it in the way they say they do? They're going to be banned in Europe soon. A lot of exchanges in Europe are taking them down. So there's a little bit more risk, but Tether's been around for a very long time. It was essentially the first stablecoin in crypto. Right now, you can get almost 15% by just lending USD on Aave on Ethereum. That is a very, very safe play for you. Another platform on Ethereum that you're going to want to look at is Curve Finance. This is another really early one. They've got almost 3 billion in liquidity. And what Curve has that Aave doesn't have are pools. Now, I won't get into the nitty gritty of this, but they have this 3 stablecoin pool here where you can add DAI, USDC, and USDT. If you just look at the standard rewards that you get for this, they're very low. But once you get into Curve, you can realize that there are lots of ways of getting extra rewards and stuff like that. So maybe I'll do a separate video on Curve one day, but know that this is a very safe protocol, again, on Ethereum. And this is the second way that I'm talking about getting yield on your stablecoins. So the first one is just single-sided. You get one stablecoin like USDC or USDT, and you add it to the lending pool of something like Aave. The other is a liquidity pool where you're adding liquidity. So in most cases, you need more than one token for this. But if you're using 2 or more stablecoins, what you don't have to worry about so much is impermanent loss. Okay, so this is why I'm talking about this in today's video. This is a low risk, build a foundational, sustainable wealth bag for yourself. This is for you to buy more crypto or to live off of or whatever. You don't want high risk in this. So I'm not talking about adding liquidity pools where you have a very high risk altcoin and a stable coin, because most likely than not, you will incur impermanent loss, which means you will end up all in that risky altcoin and have none left of your stable coin. In this case, I'm just trying to get you yield on stable coins. So I've talked to you about the least risky play, which is Ethereum and Aave and Curve. But for me, I'm okay with a little more risk. So why don't we just talk about the chains that I'm using for my DeFi and my stablecoin yield? There's Solana, of course. I'm using Solana. Now, Solana is a little bit more risky if you're new to crypto in that it has had stoppages in the past. In the last few years, Solana has stopped. And in that case, when the chain stops, you don't have access to your funds. So just know that that's an extra risk with Solana, although it's been pretty stable over the last year, year and a half. I don't use Base, but in terms of layer 2s, I think that's a good choice. And on Base, there is a protocol that I've talked about before, Aerodrome. That is the one that I would use if I wanted to use Base. They have some great stablecoin pools here on Base. Now, another thing about stablecoins I want to talk about, be careful with stablecoins that aren't USDC or USDT. I'm going to talk about a few other ones that I like. There are going to be more and more entering the market. So just make sure you do your research on that. So for example, this pool here is a stablecoin A pool that has both Dollar in it and USDC. So Dollar is another stablecoin. It's not well known. It seems pretty trustworthy. I won't go into it now, but if you were to go into this pool, make sure you know the risks of each of those stablecoins. So this pool here will give you almost 16% right now. So Aerodrome, if you're on Base, that is a great place to go. I don't personally use it right now, although I do have a bag of the Aerodrome token, Aero, because I really like the platform and I wanted to invest in the upside of it. But I am on Solana. I'm also on Sui. Of course, if you watch the channel, you know that we love Sui, both myself and the Sui legend. We're going to huge opportunities on Sui, and I'll be talking about my favorite one at the end of today's video. I don't personally like the layer 2s of Ethereum for the most part, but there is one exception for me, and that is Mantle. Mantle's really focusing on DeFi, becoming a layer 2 DeFi chain. I've talked a lot about it on the channel in the past, and I'll be talking about it today. It's the only Ethereum layer 2 that I use for yield, stablecoin yield. And again, I'll share where I'm doing that at the end of today's video. The other chain I'm going to talk about is a small Polkadot chain called hydration. This is one of the very lesser known opportunities in crypto right now for stablecoin yield. I think one of the best. Now, the liquidity on hydration isn't as high as some of the other ones. There's only $63 million locked on hydration right now. And that's another thing that I want to warn you against, especially if you're new to crypto. Make sure there is high liquidity in the DEXs that you're adding liquidity to, or in the lending pools that you're adding liquidity to. That is a major risk for offering liquidity to a DeFi platform. So you're going to see newer platforms offer very high yield, and you might say to yourself, well, I'm just going to grab this. This is a no-brainer. This one platform's offering me 10%. This platform over here is offering me 100%. Be very careful about that. Make sure that those platforms have liquidity, meaning you can get your money out. Because if it's a new platform, you don't necessarily want to trust it. The more people adding liquidity to it, so the higher the value locked in it, obviously the more trust out there is for the platform. But 63 million is still enough for me to have trust in hydration. Also, I've been following the project since it started. I've been following Polkadot for years now. So I'm very experienced and knowledgeable about that ecosystem. So I'm okay with that risk. But otherwise, I might not be. And we can look at examples of this. So if we go into Solana here on DeFi Llama, we can see the TVL for the various dApps. And you can see a lot of the TVL is concentrated in the top dApps. And then if you go to the bottom, you'll see some that are much smaller that I would not touch. Now, sometimes a new one will launch that you know is good and it has a small TVL just because it's just launched and that's going to grow. And it can be good to get in early with those. But if something's been around for a while and it has a very small TVL, or you see the percentage of TVL is going down, those you want to avoid. To me, a rule of thumb, definitely anything under 10 million, I'm not going in on. Even from 10 to 50 million, I'm going to be wary of it. From 100 million up, I'm probably okay, but I'm going to diversify. I'm not going to put all my stable coins on one platform, no matter how safe I think it is. We saw in the last cycle, FTX we thought was safe, Celsius we thought was safe. Now those were centralized entities. And for the most part, DeFi was safe, but I don't want to be the one losing my whole fortune just because I have it all on one platform. So I'm going to diversify. Now I want to show you something else here on DeFi Llama. This is a great site that you should be utilizing if you're into DeFi. You can just go here to the tab, click on DeFi, and you can search yields right here on DeFi Llama and see what is out there. If you go to category, you can see the different types of protocols. So there's lending, there are DEXs. So lending will be where you can just lend the one side. DEXs is where you can add to liquidity pools. But if you go to attribute here, you can go to stablecoin. So these are all the stablecoin opportunities here in DeFi. And for now, let's just have a look. You can go single exposure. So this is what I'm talking about in terms of that first thing, which is not adding to a liquidity pool, but just adding a one side of it. And then you can go under TVL. And like I just talked about, say you want a minimum of 10 million TVL. Maximum doesn't matter. Just do a whole bunch. But this way you're filtering out those small ones. So here you have the top TVL that is 10 million and over. So just a great tool here you can see. And another thing, just DeFi Llama is an amazing crypto tool. Make sure that you're using it if you want to be learning more about crypto and DeFi. Now, another category here I want to just bring your attention to is reward APY. I'll talk about this more as I show you the ones that I use, but know that all the yield isn't going to be directly from the tokens that you provide. There'll be the base yields that you get. So if you put USDC in, you'll be getting a base yield of USDC, but that's usually lower than the full yield you're getting. That's because these platforms are going to be offering extra rewards, which is how you're going to be able to get some of that high yield. But usually those rewards are not in that stable coin. And I'll show you examples of that coming up right now, because I'm about to share with you the stable coin yield that I like the best right now, that I am using right now. All right, guys, before I share those pools with you, please, once again, I want to remind you once again, smash that like button. If you're enjoying today's video, please smash the like button. It really, really helps the channel out. All right, guys. So the first pool I want to talk about is going back to Merchant Mo. So this is on the Mantle chain. Merchant Mo is only on Mantle. They have an amazing pool right now. It's a USDC, USDT pool that I use. The reward APR is 28.81%. So this has a lot going for it for me. One, I really like the platform Merchant Mo. I really like the chain Mantle. They've got other opportunities here for stablecoin pools, but I just really like this one because it's easy, it's simple. It's the two stablecoins I like best, USDC, USDT. Now you're getting a fees APR of 8.62. This again will change. That's based on how many people are using this pool to swap in and out of USDC and USDT. But that's very high right now, almost 9% just in fees. And then they're giving you rewards of 18.29%. So that gets you almost to 27% right now. Again, these are going to fluctuate. So that's something to keep in mind. These are always going up and down, up and down. They don't stay the same. But the fees are pretty high here because it's actually a fairly low liquidity pool of only 300,000. I don't mind that it's that low liquidity because one, I'm not putting that much money into this pool. So if you had a huge amount of money and you wanted to say put 300,000 into this pool, you would double the liquidity. I don't know that you want to be 50% of a liquidity pool, but because I trust the platform and I like the chain, I'm okay with that risk. The volume is high, so almost $1 million in volume, which is double what the liquidity is. That's why the fees are so high, which I really like. And then the rewards that you're getting, again, they're not in stablecoin, they're in Mo. So keep that in mind. But the reward pools, I don't actually mind. If it's a token that I don't think is going to crater right away. Now, Mo, like I said, I have a bag of Mo, so I like adding to that. I really like this as a small cap play this cycle. But if you didn't want to keep that Mo, you could just sell that Mo every week or so, or every few days, every month, whatever. Collect your rewards and then just sell it into stables. So really, to me, if the rewards are in a token I like, there's no real difference in not getting those stables right away because I can always just sell back into the stables. So that's the first pool that I use. Second one I'm going to show you is on Solana. It's Kamino. So Kamino is probably my favorite platform on Solana, although there are a lot of great ones. Now they have just the one-sided lending that I was talking about. And right now, the best yield you can get is on something called PYUSD. So that's another stable coin. This is the PayPal one. So you got to think that because it's backed by PayPal, it's probably pretty safe. You can get almost 10% on it right now. But for me, it's the liquidity pools that I use here again on Kamino. And I use this one here. It's the USDS USDC pool. It's got boosted fees right now, so I'm getting about 18% on this. The boosted rewards are mostly in USDS. You used to get a little bit of Radium rewards as well, but right now it's just US. Now, what is USDS? Well, USDS is actually a stable coin from MakerDAO. So it's the new DAI. If you've been in crypto a while, you might have heard of DAI, which is kind of the only successful decentralized stablecoin out there. Well, they've relaunched it as USDS, and MakerDAO has been around forever in crypto, a very reputable company in crypto. So this is a stablecoin that I don't mind being in a pool of. I trust it that much. But for sure, it's higher risk than USDC in my mind. But at 18%, this is a pool that I'm using. Really love this pool. And getting those extra rewards in USDS, again, you can keep the USDS or you can just put those into USDC once you've claimed them. I'm going to come back at the end of the video to Kamino and another strategy I use with profit taking. But before I do that, let's move on to the last two pools that I use. One, of course, we got to have a sweep pool. This one is on Cetus. Again, one of my favorite platforms on Sui. And I'm utilizing the Sui USDT USDC pool. So Sui USDT is a wrapped version of USDT. whereas the USDC is native on Sui, so you're getting native USDC. But you're getting over 30% for this pool. This is one of my faves right now, very, very high for a stablecoin pool with USDT and USDC, even though it's a wrapped USDT. An extra layer of risk, but one I'm not too worried about. And you're getting rewards here in both Sui and in the Cetus token. So again, that 30% is not all in the stablecoin. Most of it is going to be in the rewards that you're getting, which are in Sui and Cetus, both tokens I love and want to keep getting more of. The fees are actually less than 4%. That's the third. The fourth is on hydration, which I talked about. This is the small DeFi chain on Polkadot. They have an amazing pool, which again is USDT, USDC. And this pool is offering almost 2%. Again, most of that is in rewards. So Hydration got a grant from the Polkadot Treasury where they've boosted the rewards for hydration, which is great. So you know where this yield is coming from. It's actually coming from the Polkadot Treasury. So a lot of it is you're getting in VDOT, which is a liquid staked version of DOT. You're getting about 20% of that, and then you're getting about 7% in HD. And then the fees, of course, you get also fees, but hydration, there isn't really a lot of volume on hydration yet, with the exception of a couple of pools, one of them being this one. 24-hour volume has been going up. It was over 1.6 million over the last 24 hours, and the total value locked is over 15 million, which is very high for this platform. So this is a pool that I love on hydration. Now keep in mind, for a wallet for hydration, if you're not used to Polkadot, my recommendation would be the Talisman wallet. It's a browser wallet, much like Phantom and MetaMask, but the user experience is great. All right, guys, those are my 4 stablecoin pools that I'm using right now. I hope that was valuable information. Those are 4 amazing pools. To recap, there's one on Merchant Mo on the Mantle chain. There's a USDS USDC pool on Kamino. There's the USDT USDC on Hydration, and the Cetus pool of Sui USDT USDC. I'm going to do one other shout out here, and that is to a protocol called Beefy. This is a multi-chain yield optimizer. So much higher risk, okay, than some of these other platforms. But Beefy has been around for a long time. It launched in the last cycle, and it's on a ton of different chains. So most of the layer 2s are going to be here. You've got Arbitrum, Avalanche, Base, Ethereum itself, of course. You've got Linea, Mantle, Optimism, a ton of different chains. And they've got some really good pools here as well. And this is a yield optimizer site. And there is a bunch of them out there that they will optimize your yield for you. Actually, Kamino is one of those. So I just want to give a shout out to Beefy. It's a slightly more higher risk play, but depending on your risk tolerance, it might be really worth your time looking into. And if you're someone who wants to be using the layer 2s, if that's where you're comfortable with Ethereum layer 2s or EVM chains like Moonbeam, I would highly recommend looking at Beefy. Okay, the last thing I want to talk about is about Kamino again, and actually about Jupiter and their JLP pool. I've talked about this before on the channel. This is a really, really great opportunity here to de-risk as you're taking profits, but not go totally into stable coins. What the JLP pool is, it's the Jupiter liquidity provider pool. So it adds the liquidity that acts as the counterparty to traders using Jupiter, which is on Solana. So in a way, you get to be the exchange. It's almost like buying into the profits of an exchange. And as you should know by now, Jupiter is a very popular decentralized exchange on Solana. Now, in the JLP pool, there's over $1.6 billion. Right now, you're getting about 15% APY, but that fluctuates and it can be much higher. But this is what the pool is. It's a basket of tokens. You got mostly Solana at about 4. You got about 10% in ETH. You've got 14% in Bitcoin, and then you've got the rest in stables, which is about over 30%. So because of the stable coins in here, you're getting less volatility, but then you're staying in the big boys. You're staying in Sol, ETH, and BTC. So if you are someone who wants to be taking profit, but not totally getting out of the market, especially the big boys, this is a great opportunity here, the JLP pool. This is something that I've been doing. I've been taking little bits of profit, putting it into JLP. And the way to do that is really you just trade it like any other token. It's the JLP token on Solana. Now, if you're a degen like me and you like Kamino as much as I do, then what you can do with that JLP token is go to the Kamino Multiply, which is essentially a yield aggregating product by Kamino, and you can deposit your JLP there and get extra APY on it. I've been doing that for a while. Look, it's an added layer of risk. Make sure you know the info and risk here of what you're getting yourself into. Don't just listen to me or any other YouTuber. It's an extra layer of risk, but you're getting an extra layer of yield if you are okay with the risk. All right, guys, that was my video for today. I honestly think this is a crucial part of becoming a crypto millionaire, making sure you take profits, put it into stables so that you can buy the dips or just have that foundation of sustainable wealth that you don't have to worry about the volatility. If you like today's video, please smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Follow me over on X at CryptoWise Guys. All right, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching today's video. I'm Milton. Until next time, over and out.